Greetings and welcome again to the Hotspot. My name is Webb. Always a pleasure to be here to talk Manchester United. Now, another day, another injury. Mason Mount is the next casualty at Manchester United. He will be out for more than 3 weeks, according to what we are getting, almost a month. What is happening at Manchester United? Injury after injury after injury. But what exactly is going on at this club? So, Mount will not be available for that game against Everton. Not that we'll miss him a lot because really he has not been commanding given a start. He has barely made an impact since he joined Manchester United. No goal, no, I think only one assist in the EFL Cup. So certainly he's not one player who will be crying about because he's not there for Everton. But here's the thing, and I'm here just to give you my take on why I think Eric Ten Hag might actually kill the career of a decent player. Mason Mount perhaps is feeling like regretting now because of the decision he made to leave Chelsea and join Man United. Remember, Chelsea did not seem to be too excited about letting him go. Probably they wanted him to stay. He's a Chelsea boy, but whatever happened, there was a bad fallout probably between him and Chelsea. But what was supposed to be his getaway from the misery from in London is becoming his worst nightmare because he's barely getting playing time. He's now getting injured like everyone else at United. People are running out of patience with him. Remember, no one rolled a red carpet for him except Ten Hag when he was joining United because people felt Mason Mount is not the player we needed at the time. We needed to sign other players in different departments, but Ten Hag insisted on him. But this is how I think Eric Ten Hag is killing the career of one of the most promising English players. I think one, Ten Hag brought in Mason Mount without a plan. He knew that Mount, if Ten Hag was playing with the players he had at Ajax, the formation he was playing, the pressing formation, then whatever Ten Hag was telling us about Mason Mount's football and how he's good with transition, how he's good with pressing, and would make sense. But he brought a player who can execute his style at Ajax into a Man United team that barely has four players that can execute what he wants to play. So Mason Mount finds himself lost within the lot. So this frustration and now couple it with an injury like that, I think it's okay for certain players to get injured, but a player like Mason Mount in his situation cannot afford to get a long injury because 1 month is a long injury in football, really. So you feel for him, but Ten Hag brought in this player without a plan. And I wonder what conversations they had because I know they did have conversations with the player when he was joining, convincing him to leave Chelsea and join us. And my expectation would have been he broke down to him how he was planning to play him. But clearly, it's not working. So how then does Eric Ten Hag put it right? Does he stick to the player and try to figure out where he plays? Does he add other players who will ensure that Mason Mount plays well? Because I think, for me personally, Mason Mount as a footballer is better than 70 or 80% of players at United. It's just that he does not fit in. And that's what we are saying as even supporters. We are saying when Eddie Ten Hag was signing him, we are saying, why is he signing him? Where is he going to play if you got Bruno Fernandes? He cannot even be an able number two for Bruno Fernandes when Fernandes is not there. And it's not even just about Fernandes blocking him. The reality is Mason Mount does not fit into what Man United plays, at least for now. In fact, I have a feeling that if Mount had stayed at Chelsea, he would be one of their most important players. Perhaps he would be vice captain at Chelsea under Pochettino because the style of football he plays at Pochettino plays perhaps can favor Mount more than what Eric Ten Hag plays. So you're looking at another decent player who whose career is disappearing because of perhaps wrong decisions made by the manager, of course, and his football directors or sporting directors who are there. These are John Matters. So you feel for this young English player because Mount is supposed to be an English, jewel. He won the Champions League with Chelsea. He's young. He should be in his prime. He should be contributing to what England is trying to achieve. They want to win the Euros. They want to push for the World Cup. Mount should be a part of that conversation because the peers he had, the Bukayo Sakas, the Phil Fodens, players he was probably better than, are bossing it on the national team. So it's bad to see that such a young player is having his career gone, and usually they never recover from this. Imagine if he has been fit and not playing, what will happen after 1 month when he returns from injury? So it's bad. And I don't want to go back and forth on why players are getting injured at United and what have you. I've told you before that for me I think it's because of what Ronaldo told us, the lack of advancement in facilities, training facilities. Players are still being trained using facilities of long time ago. Yet technology has advanced a lot. So certainly they can't match the standards of other teams, the Man Cities that have stepped up their game. So we are having United players with Luton fitness. In fact, even Luton, I think, covered more yards than us. Probably Luton players are fitter than United players. So, but for the Mount situation, I think Eric Ten Hag, and it's bad now because my next video before the confirmation of this injury was meant to figure out how Eric Ten Hag can try to save Mason Mount's career because he's not a bad player by figuring out how he can play with Bruno Fernandes. But now, if he's going to be away for a month, you can't even think about him. You just want to write him off because after 1 month, we're nearly going into the Jan transfer window. Probably, if Sergeant Ratcliffe comes in ruthless with his Paul Mitchells and this new CEO, Jean Cloud Blow, probably they would want to loan Mount out. They could make the decision to loan him out because he's not playing. So what exactly then is supposed to be done to save this career of this England player? It's going to be interesting to see. But Eric Ten Hag, I think, created a problem for himself, and he has got to solve it because Mount, honestly, in all fairness, he's not performing, but I won't call for his. I think for me, it's not really about him entirely. The manager has got a lot to do with it. He made the wrong decisions. He perhaps was not right to rush to bring him. He had no plan for him. He convinced us that he had a plan for him, but clearly the plan is not there. Paul Scholes just a few days ago was saying he does not get Mount. He does not really understand what role, what he adds to Man United. What position does he play? I can ask you that, and I've asked people this. What is Mason Mount's natural position? He was given the shirt number 7, the greatest shirt in Man United. So much pressure on him. That's first of all. And in football, and Eric Ten Hag should know this, in football, shirt numbers are important. Shirt numbers are retired. Manchester United perhaps should have been retired in the shirt number 7 because of Cristiano Ronaldo, David Beckham, Eric Cantona, and now Mason Mount is joining that lot. The pressure that comes with it, he cannot cope with it because he's not playing football. And you put that on the player. Of course, as a young player, he will be excited getting the shirt number of his role model because Cristiano Ronaldo obviously must have been a role model to Mount at some point. Now, you're giving him that heavy shirt number, but he can barely command a start against Fulham. That's already destroying him. So there is a lot of mishandling for me of the whole Mason Mount situation, and it's unfortunate that it's taking his career, and now injuries are coming in. You never recover from this. It takes a lot to recover from this. It takes a lot. It's said that his people close to him say he doesn't get it. He's confused. He's frustrated. He's disappointed. Remember seeing him smiling with his family. He was eager to start, but things are not happening for him because there was no proper plan for him. There was never a proper plan for him when he was joining Manchester United. And for me, I will again put that on our technical guys and the decisions they made and how they make rush decisions without perhaps planning the long time. You look at a team like Arsenal and you clearly see by the time Arsenal brought in David Raya, Mikel Arteta and Edu clearly had a plan for him. They clearly had a plan for him and Ramsdale. Same thing with the Declan Rice. They clearly had a plan for Declan Rice. You need to have a plan for a player if you're going to bring them in. You need to have a proper plan for them. And unfortunately, Eric Ten Hag and Man United lacked a plan for Mason Mount, and clearly they are destroying his career. I do hope it can be saved. Hotspot, subscribe. My name is Webb. I'll catch you later, fam.